Hello, dads. You know
Hello, shoppers.
that you want to grill.
You want to come inside and look at the birds up on the ceiling.
You want to mow. And you want to get 5% cash back with a Home Depot Visa card. It's Home Depot.
Home Depot. The home despot.
It's the homeless
As
despot.
our father calls it.
Our father.
Our father who art in Home Depot.
Who loves grilling.
Hallowed be his name.
On the new egg grill this Father's Day. Only $49.99 plus tax.
Does it look like an egg or do you...
Don't you know about the green egg grill? What kind of dad are you? You don't know
Sam,
about that?
I don't know about the green eggs and ham grill.
Gay vegan.
This is the future liberals want, where your sons don't even know.
You don't know about the big green egg? It's a trope.
Please.
It's like a grill that's expensive. It's too expensive. And it costs $40 million and it's just an egg. But
is this some kind of like high concept art piece? Like performance?
It is a little like 50s googie a little bit. Like you could see like a dad in a striped linen shirt tucked into his pants. Oh my god, keep up. Jesus.
You're such a millennial. I don't
okay, we're moving in. We're moving on. It's Platypus World. It's Platypus World. I'm Eric.
And we're turning back the clock. I'm Alex.
He's the guy who doesn't know what googie or the big green egg are.
I'm the person with a normal vocabulary.
And today we will be discussing The Predator versus Kevin McCallister from Home Alone.
In a Home Depot with 72 hours of prep time.
Dun, 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 dun. And an unlimited
what do you
5-finger discount.
What do you prefer? Be real. Be real. I want your real answer. Are you a Home Depot guy or a Lowe's guy?
Whatever is closest. I literally don't give a shit.
Really? You have zero preference?
A zero preference.
I feel like Lowe's is a little bit better. I know we made Home Depot the star of the show. Because they're a little more recognizable.
Lowe's actually does have more hardwood. I found like more like...
yeah,
it does when I walk in.
Am I right, fellas?
Am I right?
Can I get an amen?
Yeah. It's boys' night at Lowe's. Lowe's down and dirty with the hardwood. But no, they have a good selection of like hardwoods. Home Depot just has like, 2x4s and shit. I think they have like molding and stuff, but
I feel like the people at Home Depot, like, you know me. You know me, Eric. I'm kind of a soy boy, right? I'm not the most handy.
I guess fucking not. You didn't know about the egg. Yeah, you don't know about grilling.
But when I go to Home Depot, even I sometimes have moments where I feel like Hank Hill, like telling the employees that they know more than them. You know what I mean? Like
they know more.
If I get to that level, then I know more. And if I'm at that level, then like, oh boy, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What?
But I mean, it seems like a shitty job, so no shade.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know anything either.
Yeah. When did you feel like that? You don't do a ton of like DIY stuff.
Yeah, but the few times I've been in, I've just been like, hey man, I have a question. They're like, oh god, what do I do?
This is telling me more about your innate sense of superiority than any quality of Home Depot or Lowe's.
Listen, my ego is well inflated. This is a fact.
Alex's ego.
I don't deny that.
Only at Home Depot and Lowe's.
The Home Depot people.
Let's be real. He's probably better than you.
Finally, someone said it. I'm just glad. You finally said it.
Shut up, moron.
Now you hurt my feelings, and I don't appreciate that.
No,
my massive ego has been popped like a.
I was actually embodying you and speaking to a hypothetical Lowe's or Home Depot employee.
You're like letting the hypothetical Lowe's or Home Depot employee possess you, take over your actions, just enter your earthly vessel and speak through you.
Hey, how the fuck do you get through the workday?
Damn.
I know more than you.
Yeah. Real Ron Swanson hours.
Yeah.
Real. You millennials love shows like that. You love.
I do like Parks and Rec. It is wholesome.
You would like Parks
Keanu
and Rec.
Chungus. It was nice. It was a nice. I watched it during the summer between high school and college. It's a weird time.
I remember when you were watching it. It felt very out of character for you.
I don't know. It's just a weird transitional time. You're like.
It's like a show our mom would like. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's good. It's like The Office, kind of.
I don't like The Office either.
You don't like The Office? Okay, I still like The
No.
Office. Well, I think that effect is like a Seinfeld isn't funny effect, even though I think Seinfeld isn't inherently funny, so that trope is named improperly. But I think The Office just did a lot of things for the first time, and now it's a little bit played out.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec was
an
an exact copy of it, basically, in the first season.
I can't watch The Office the same reason a World War II vet can't watch Saving Private Ryan.
Wait, what Office trauma do you have? Is this connected to an ex, perhaps?
No, not an ex, to ex jobs, which I can't go into detail on here, but...
What? I don't see... Oh, just because the workplace shenanigans are too much?
Shenanigans.
I see, okay.
They're not fun. They're fun maybe to hear about, to observe from a distance, but to be in them is very not fun. And anyone who's worked in a quote-unquote fun office can corroborate that with me.
Is that the job that shall not be named?
It is indeed.
Okay.
It's the one.
You got a lot going on there.
Yeah.
I think there's even more at play than just a boss that isn't self-aware and tries too hard.
Now we're getting a little too specific.
Yeah, it's too specific.
Even that. But anyways, yeah, not a huge fan of Parks and Rec. I like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Really?
Every now and then I'll watch the first 9 episodes of that and then stop. But I'll be like, that was a good show.
I liked it. Me and Allison used to watch it during the pandemic, but it's like, I don't know.
That seems like a solid pandemic show.
It's very procedural. It just gets very old. I think The Office was like a little bit more original and like the characters are a little bit more interesting. I don't know. Like Creed. I like Creed. He
shows up for like a cumulative 10 minutes in the entire
But
series.
I loved those 10 minutes and they were good.
Was it worth like all the Robert California arc? The Office is like One Piece.
I forgot
it goes on forever.
It went on for 2 more seasons than it should have.
Yeah, dude. The ending was good. I'll give it that. It managed to end on a good note. Yeah. Not a huge fan.
You're paying too much for worms. Who's your worm guy?
You know what I did?
That's good writing. Which one?
You know what I did finish recently?
What?
Better Call Saul.
Yes, finally. Did you like the symmetry in that last shot? Doesn't spoil anything.
My God. So I'll say this, keeping it non-spoilers. The whole time I'm watching Better Call Saul, I'm like, this isn't as good as Breaking Bad. But then I watched like episode 7, 8, and 9 of the last season, and I'm like, oh.
The way they ended it was so good. That was like honestly the best ending I feel like I've had out of any show. Like the most satisfying conclusion. Out of any show.
You just feel like garbage after. You're like,
Why? Why do you feel like garbage? It's like redemption.
Yeah, but it's like sucks at the same time. Right?
Well, that's what they're saying. He's kind of made his bed already. And like, so one shot they have is when he's in the prison, he's mixing the Cinnabon. So basically the situation he's in, he's going to be in this horrible life anyways. You know what I mean? He's going to be like on the run, just being a manager in a Cinnabon all day. So he's doing that either way, but they have like some recognition of him as like, you know, a lawyer, and like he's gone through and he's kind of absolved himself and is now like doing his penitence, you know?
Yeah, but he also could have done that legally and only gotten away with like the
7 years
or whatever. I guess
what do you mean?
Now.
Yeah, this is kind of in depth for the call, anyways, but I really love the ending. I love the cigarette, the red cigarette.
Yes. It's a really good show.
Yeah.
But I do still think though, I do like Breaking Bad a little bit better just because like yes, the ending, the last season is like phenomenal, some of the best TV ever made.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of like in the middle seasons, there's a lot of just like filler. It feels like the Mike plotline and the Nacho plotline.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Nacho plotline
just,
is not very good.
You know where they're going, and then they just go where, like, they say they're gonna go, you know? And it's like, okay, this could have been handled through email, you know what I mean?
Even Nacho kind of redeemed himself in a way. I don't know.
Like,
it was
cool, but
it was like good TV, but like the Saul storyline is like awesome, like
the Saul storyline is awesome, and they keep cutting away from it, and I'm like,
yeah,
no,
that's true.
I don't care that Mike is still sad. Like, he's always sad. I don't know.
Yeah, Mike was kind of interesting. I don't know.
Lalo was awesome though.
I like how they made him a little bit more of a complex character. I think you fell asleep for that part. I'm like, Alex, you should watch this, and you're like,
no,
your eyes were open for like 2 minutes, and you're like,
I'm so EP.
And then your ex showed it to you, and you're like, wow, this is so good.
That's not what happened.
That's, if I recall correctly, that's exactly what happened.
I restarted that series on my own volition.
Okay.
But
good show. We can agree.
All I'm saying is I never fell asleep during Breaking Bad, not once. So even if I was EP, it was for it.
Yeah.
But sidebar. So that's enough about TV shows. Let's talk about movies, namely Home Alone. You want to tell us a little bit about Kevin McCallister?
Let's get into our tricky boy, who probably should have been born sometime around 1950 in Vietnam. For the ingenuity he shows in making makeshift traps.
Theories that he grows up to become the Jigsaw killer from Saw?
No, that makes a whole bunch of sense though.
They even look kind of similar. Like old Macaulay Culkin kind of looks like the guy that played him.
Yeah, he always kind of resonated as like a Viet Cong to me, which is what I was getting at. You know what I mean?
I feel you. The tiger poop on the bamboo sticks.
Yeah, that was funny enough in the outtakes of Home Alone 2.
They had Donald Trump walking.
Yes, the Donald Trump vehicle, Home Alone 2.
Yes.
It's so fucking weird.
Irreparable damage to our political atmosphere.
That's when the timeline separated, and we started along the path that we're on now. But life, it's so crazy.
Because the world should have ended in 2012. That's when the timelines diverged.
Anyway. Probably did, and we're just one DMT trip of some dude in, I don't know, Fiji.
Easy Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
We're not getting that.
Hey, have you ever tried DMT?
More popular.
Okay, no, Kevin.
You want to watch this movie of Chimp?
What's that?
Jamie, pull that shit up. Anyway,
he does love his monkeys. Kevin, so a guerrilla warrior, if we've ever seen one, Kevin McCallister, famously left. Yeah, that's how he got on Joe Rogan. Famous guerrilla warrior tactics. Kevin was left alone in his big old fucking McMansion by his dad with 7 million kids and stay-at-home mom, because this was the 90s and you could have that.
What the hell did his dad do for a living?
Yeah, he
could afford that massive house and take all his family on a vacation to France.
I don't know. He was probably in 1990. He was probably fucking a hubcap polisher or some shit like that. Anyways,
what you could get with a freaking GED in the 90s.
Yeah. Famously, they leave his ass back home when they're going to Paris. And he is pursued by 2 child predators, one Marv and Harry,
Wait,
the wet bandits.
They just steal stuff. Don't paint them like that.
They try to kill a child, basically. So close enough. Who remembers the details? The important thing is Kevin is a menace. He's good with traps. He can improvise them from almost anything, and he's out for blood. So we can kind of think through some of his feats or his traps that he's made over the course of Home Alone 1 and 2. We're not counting 3 with that other fucking kid, and there's no Joe Pesci in it, so that doesn't care. It's only canon if Joe Pesci stands with his head on fire for 10 seconds and yowls like, "Well, fucking you said it to Sam."
movies.
That does happen in 1 and 2. So those are the canon
I
ones.
want that as a Netflix genre.
Exactly.
Netflix.
Joe Pesci howling.
Joe Pesci howling.
like a Looney Tunes
Home
character.
Alone 1 and 2. And maybe there's a part of My Cousin Vinny where he does that.
Deleted.
Tom from Tom and Jerry.
Deleted scene where he's going through like a blowtorch that's evidence or something. But that brings us to the blowtorch trap. That's a famous one from Home Alone 1. He'll just shoot him in the fucking head with a BB gun. He dropped an iron on Marv. He put a nail through Marv's foot. And I think some of the more lethal ones were the paint cans, burning the hand on the doorknob, and the glass shards. Those are all pretty lethal. In Home Alone 2, he dials it up a notch. He does all kinds of crazy shit to him. There's like 5 times where they fall like 30 feet onto concrete, and they just get right back up. In Home Alone 2, and now this is something that we should kind of regard as maybe it's something that's connected to Kevin, or maybe it's just something that has to do with Marv and Harry. But they have like a slapstick, again, Looney Tunes-esque endurance to all these things that Kevin does to them that would kill a normal human.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to squash that right now.
Home Alone 2 especially.
For this scenario,
what do you
real
got?
Physics are on.
Real physics are on. Okay, so
for the sake of, keeping things PG-13.
Okay.
I mean, Harry and Marv in both movies, there was a really good video about this that came out a long time ago that was like this ER trauma surgeon basically evaluating how many times Harry and Marv would have died, and it's like something like 16 in the first movie and like 20 something or like 30 something in the second movie.
Oh, yeah.
We're keeping full lethality on for this encounter.
Okay.
No goofy cartoon skeletons when you get electrocuted.
Yeah, that's another thing. Marv grabs a live wire and ostensibly a neutral right across his hands, which is the worst place to possibly get electrocuted. And he literally, I remember that frame. He just gets replaced with a model of his skeleton for 1 frame or something like that.
Back when they weren't afraid to take risks. Back when movies were film.
They do that.
Back when art was still around.
During the famous Joe Pesci screaming for 10 seconds with his head on fire scene, he puts it in a toilet that I think Kevin perhaps put gas in. And he literally just fucking blows up. He throws literally a stack of exactly 10 bricks at Marv's head. Well, 10 bricks are shown. He throws like 5 bricks at Mark's head from 20 feet in the air. And there's just like a little Looney Tunes, like his head turns into an anvil. When in real life, your entire like head would just be like some kind of pudding.
Yeah.
So he's willing to do that shit.
He has no moral compass.
He has no moral compass. It's chaotic evil.
Sometimes he makes the traps like needlessly painful or like humiliating.
Like the feathers.
Feathers? Yeah, like there's no reason he had to do that.
Yeah, not
injury.
That's just pure Schadenfreude. That's not self-preservation anymore.
No, it's not.
So he's a sadist. He's willing to kill, and he's excellent at improvising traps. So who is he up against?
So Kevin McCallister is up against, speaking of child predators, he's up against a literal predator. You might even say the predator.
Take a seat over there, sir.
We're not gonna say the predator. So for as sadistic and clever as he is, Kevin is still a 11-year-old boy. So we're gonna go a little bit easy on him. So you might be familiar with the Predator, originally from the Arnold Schwarzenegger film, of course. But we're not going to use that specific Predator. So Predator is both a title and the name of a race. I believe the race, forgive me, Predator heads, Pred heads, Dread heads, if I'm mispronouncing this, but it's the Yautja race.
Yautja.
Yautja. A hyper intelligent, advanced hunter race. They're just all about hunting stuff down.
Yeah. Yautja is what Predator is going to say when Kevin drops a piano on him and his teeth get replaced with the keys.
He, turns turns into an accordion.
Yeah.
Like, play a little song as he
Exactly. Go on.
But yeah, so we're not using 1987's Predator because let's be real, that thing was a beast. It took out like an entire platoon of soldiers basically by itself. Little too overpowered for the confines of a Home Depot. So what we're going to use is a different Predator from the most recent film in Predator canon, Prey. Very good movie. Came out last year, 2022. Set in the early 1700s in North America, where this Predator goes up against some Comanche hunters and some French-Canadian trappers, basically. So this Predator is a little bit scaled down in terms of its technology, and it is also canonically a little bit younger, a little bit more impatient, a little bit more inexperienced than Arnold's Predator. So I'll go over some of the notables here. So the Predators they're bigger and stronger than a normal person, but they are still, biological. This one gets injured with a bear trap, for instance, but is able to get itself out of it. It is very agile and strong, able to leap from tree to tree like a little... It looks kind of funny when it does it. He's like a little Tarzan, kind of just like gracefully hopping between the barren Canadian trees. It's kind of beautiful, honestly. It's like a little Bambi.
Wait, it was in Canada? Oh.
Ambiguous. I don't know if, it specifies, but it's like, North U.S., bottom of Canada. There's the French-Canadian trappers, so they were kind of around... They were around, like, the Midwest and stuff at that time, I believe. But anyway... So this Predator also brings an arsenal, some of which is, familiar to people who have only seen the first one, some of which is a little different. So, it does have the trademark invisibility that we know the Predator has, but it's not quite as good as the 1987 version. It's a little bit more spotty, and it's shown that it can be sort of interrupted by certain things. So, while it is useful, it's not the, perfect active camouflage that the 1987 Predator has. And, it's shown, if it uses certain weapons, it needs to decloak at least part of its body. And speaking of weapons, we've got a few of the iconic, Predator staples, I guess. He's got the Wolverine-style wrist blades that can come out, slice through stuff. We're giving him, he's what they call combi sticks, which is a fun word. It sounds like the name of an Asian treat you would find, the Pacific supermarket. But yeah, it's basically a telescoping spear that can split in two, sharp on both ends.
I wish the Predator would impale me with a Pocky.
Yeah, he spits like boba into your mouth and it pops and blows up your head.
Hot.
He's also going to have a wire net, which is like a net thing he can throw that if it gets on you, it'll literally keep pulling itself together until it slices you into cubes, if that makes sense.
Nice.
He has the cut clamp dagger, which is sort of like, those wristbands you would get in elementary school, those slap bracelets that they would give him as a prize for reading a book on time or whatever, but then everyone just turned them into weapons and slapped them against each other. He's got a sharp, serrated version of that, basically.
That's cool.
He also has
I think he must have been caught being good or something.
Yeah. That's a deep cut. Caught being good.
That's from elementary school.
He got the little announcement from the principal and everything. He got to play the little xylophone.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. The highest honor.
He also has a sort of telescoping shield, like a little round shield thing that is bulletproof, at least in terms of 16th century muskets. And lastly, he has the arrow cannon. So this Predator doesn't have the plasma caster that the original one does, because it would be a little overpowered if he could just walk in and shoot Kevin in the head through 3 aisles and melt through everything. So instead, he has his laser guided arrows. So these basically work, the Predator points his mask at something, locks onto a target, and then fires these metal arrows that can like weave through obstacles, so they basically always hit their target, if that makes sense. But they are just kind of metal bolts. They won't, blow stuff up or anything.
Okay.
So that keeps it a little bit more balanced. But I know what you're thinking, Eric. What about the laser discs? What about his laser disc player? We're not going to give those to him. So in the movie, the Predator gets kind of frustrated fighting the French trappers, and he kind of just like puts this thing on the ground and then fucks off. And these little floating discs come out of it and cut down an entire forest, basically. So to keep things from being too much of a stomp, he's not going to do that. Because
that's so lame. That's not very sportsmanlike, honestly.
No, it is. It is sportsmanlike because he recognizes Kevin as worthy prey, and he wants to give him a fighting chance.
Oh, no. I mean, in the case of the fur trappers.
Oh, yeah, they deserved it. They're French.
Fair enough.
The Predator looks at him. Oh, yeah, he's also got, like, the thermal vision, too.
So that's what I wanted to ask about. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that plays into something very important.
Yeah. But,
that's a big one.
Going into this, we've decided that Kevin knows all these capabilities.
Yes. Buzz, his older brother, has shown him the movie Predator behind his parents' back. And he knows all the capabilities and how the Predator was finally vanquished. How did that happen in Prey? Or did it happen?
In Prey, what winds up happening is the Predator gets lured into like a thick mud, I believe.
The mud.
Right?
The classic weakness of the Predator.
The protagonist is able to steal his mask, and she basically uses the targeted arrows against him by trapping him in place and then locking on to his own head with the arrows, and he goes to fire them, but winds up playing himself.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers for Prey and all the Home Alones, I guess.
All the Home Alones. If that's been on your list since 1990, go watch it.
Yeah, I mean, you have no excuse at this point.
Yeah. Well, Kevin famously does not get killed by his own arrow and covered in mud.
That we know of.
So that's 1-0 so far.
We don't know what becomes of him after
he goes to Burning Man.
Not too far out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, he's just could have been an archery range mishap at this year's Burning Man.
Oh God, I don't want to talk about this year's Burning Man.
Why? Too much PTSD?
No, I just don't like giving annoying people a platform.
They're just burning. They're doing their thing.
Yeah, they're defending child slavery. Just
are they? I didn't hear about that.
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
No.
There was one of the dudes at Burning Man this year was a high-profile lawyer who was famous for defending successfully in use of child slavery.
Oh, yeah, what the fuck is that guy's name? And he was wearing the fucking, like, little boy cap with a propeller.
Yes, and he's just wearing a
oh my God. So this is what happened to it. Like, I could get behind, like, a free love, like, hippies are just, like, they're hanging out. But it's been, like, sub-opted. It's been, like,
It's been, like, gentrified.
It's been gentrified in a way. It's just been, like, infiltrated by all these, like, horrible, like, Silicon Valley types, as well as, like, just general professional class, like, horrible people. Like, Jeff Bezos goes there now, to give you a context. Yeah, but that guy...
Like a secret service that surrounds him the entire time?
Probably. I'm sure he hires security. He doesn't want some stinky white guy with dreadlocks giving him a hug. I
bet he's got, like, a royal taste tester that, like, tries a bite of all his food so it doesn't have, like, spiked with mescaline or whatever.
I think you're just picturing, like, a medieval king.
Isn't that what he is? I bet he has a whipping boy. You know what that is?
A boy who you whip?
Sort of. It's like a little lad in medieval times whose job it was to follow the king around, and if the king, like, somehow did something that called for corporal punishment, the whipping boy just took it in his place.
Wow. Yeah, so what a horrible guy.
Speaking of burning men, what are the odds you think Kevin is going to be able to set the Predator on fire and make him go, youch! Youcha! Just like Joe Pesci.
I think he's got a shot, so let's think through it. So,
so lining out this scenario fully. So Kevin knows about the Predator. The Predator is coming. He has 72 hours to prepare and turn a normal, we'll say maybe a little bit above average stocked, like a flagship store Home Depot, uh, into a death trap. And he has to survive for 8 hours, either kill the predator or, just hide, I guess, which seems doubtful, but you never know. He's a crafty little bastard. And then at that point, Arnold Schwarzenegger comes in with the chopper in the garden.
The chopper
extracts his ass.
He comes in and he just flattens the peonies with his chopper and minigun.
Not the peonies; those were award winners.
No mercy at all.
Yeah, and at that point, the predator's just screwed. So
yeah, he just gets minigunned by Arnold, who has covered himself in mud.
Mud from the garden section.
Mud from the garden section, which is exactly what I was thinking.
It was bogus.
This is like make or break for Kevin, because if he doesn't see if Buzz does not show him the movie ahead of time, he's just gonna get found immediately.
Right.
I don't think any like the prey predator has so many projectiles. Like wherever he's hiding in the corner, he's gonna be found with the IR vision, the thermal vision, and he's just gonna get an arrow to the head. So the most important first step is he has to slather himself in mud, or be prepared to do that like right before the time starts.
I was thinking, in terms of avoiding the whole heat detection, Home Depot sells appliances. They sell like fridges. He could pull a Indiana Jones. Calling that bitch.
Crawl in the fridge. That's true. Wait it out for a bit.
But the mud probably makes more sense.
Yeah, another thing that appliances generate is heat, which is one thing that I was thinking.
Yeah, just flood the thermal vision with too many sources.
Yeah, exactly. Or have like a little boy-shaped object heated by a space heater. So I think it's also important.
He's got one of those life-size cardboard cutouts of Shaq.
See, well, he famously orchestrated an entire party inside of his house in the first Home Alone.
He's weirdly good at that.
He has not only does he have great like improvisational guerrilla weapon trap skills, he can also fake the presence of others pretty well. He's good at like just general psychological operations as well, psyops.
He's also really good at like working a VCR. So maybe he could even watch the movie at like 3 times speed.
That's true. Do some research, but
details.
Yeah, he might not find a VCR of Prey, which came out. Whatever.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, does he have internet? So this is a big question.
No, he doesn't get internet.
No internet? Okay. And here is another game defining question.
Oh, I love it. Hit me with a game.
How long does it take Kevin to figure out a forklift? Is he forklift certified?
Is there any doesn't he learn how to drive? Or am I making that up?
I don't remember.
To drive?
I kind of vaguely remember that.
He learns at 9 years old how to take care of himself, like
he learns how to go shopping and stuff like that.
I feel like he could figure it out, but it would eat into the time a little bit more, maybe. What do you think necessitates a forklift?
Basically any fall trap that he needs to make. So I'm thinking tile, granite countertops, dishwashers, all that kind of thing. I think heavy stuff and just like crushing traps are going to be a big thing for him. So yeah, what that could look like is stacking them on the top shelf of one of those big, shelves, I guess, and just rigging it somehow.
Once you need the ladder that they never let you go on.
Yeah, the ladder. He's got to put the little plastic
ladder.
Chain across the aisle and set it up.
Predator just sees the chain and goes like,
oh, I can't go in there.
By the rules of this land.
Say it's a broken strap for Kevin. Just stand in the middle of the aisle with a little chain across. Can't get me, bitch. Arnold is coming for your ass. Sit over here. Yeah, so that's a big one. If he can operate that forklift, learn how to operate that forklift in maybe a few hours. I have a lot of confidence in him. Again, he figured out how to take care of himself. He had the ingenuity to like stick a cardboard cutout onto you know, little model train track, all these kinds of things. So I feel like anything that I can think of, Kevin could also think of.
You could probably improve upon it. Let's be honest.
Yeah, probably. I probably wouldn't think about that, especially
that's a good way to jump off. Like, what would you do in this situation?
Yeah. So he's covered in mud. Does that work for the thermal vision? Do we have context for the Prey?
Yes,
from the Prey movie?
Works. And if anything, I think this thermal vision is a little weaker because the way the protagonist gets around it initially in Prey is she eats this certain herb that lowers your body temperature.
She smokes the herb.
The good herb.
John
that
made the herb
handed down directly. So if the range for detection is close enough that it can be manipulated just by like eating something like that or taking some sort of medicinal herb, then I think it's safe to say mud would do the trick. And she also does use mud later in the movie, if I recall correctly.
If Arnold can use it against the not teenager from The Simpsons
the more advanced one. Yeah.
Then I think that'll work. So I think that potting soil from the garden section, a little bit of the 100%. Sprinkler water, and he just slathers up right before.
Do you think he's just slathered up the whole time?
Yeah, he's just got to slather up right before the predator gets there. If he knows it's 72 hours.
He knows, yeah.
Yeah, and he just waits until a couple hours before and gets nice and slathered up, Baba. Or he could even just
he's like pit-pattering through the aisles, leaving little muddy footprints, though.
That's true. Well, maybe he's just gonna hunker down. I mean, in the
he seems to like to stay mobile.
That's true. Well, he likes to. I think in his just estimation of his own capability from the first two movies, he knows that Harry and Marv, they're just like mice to a cat, and he's just batting them about. He's just watching them suffer. But I think he would have a little bit more.
I'm in the movie 7 with you describing like the killer right now.
He's basically like one of those Nazis who went to Eastern Europe.
He does have Aryan features.
Oh,
blue eyes.
Oh no.
Maybe the Predator would be doing the world a favor.
Oh my god.
So
what is the name for that skull science thing? From
phrenology.
Welcome to Platypus World, the only podcast where we discuss the phrenology of Kevin McCallister.
Examine the dimples of Kevin McCallister.
He's really got a noble jaw, I'd like to think.
Oh god. Definitely from the Caucasus Mountains. Oh god.
They would put him in those little pamphlets for like the ideal child. Yeah, sadist and Aryan. There you go. He would have. Yeah, see, and improvise in like military tactics. If he were born in 1920 in Stuttgart,
in a certain funny country,
we might be thinking about him a little bit differently.
He'd be putting up big numbers.
Oh, yeah.
He would be making crazy.
Oh Jesus.
Commission quarterly. You know what I'm saying?
No, did you think that the Wehrmacht worked like fucking Vivint or something?
I mean, I assume the mentality is so similar.
The unquestioning demeanor is very similar and blind allegiance.
The cultishness.
Don't worry, bro. If you just sell 10 million units every week, then you can make $100,000 a year.
Waiting for the story to come out about the guy who tried selling for Cutco, and they made him raise a dog from being a puppy and then kill it when it turned a certain age.
What?
You never heard about that? The Hitler Youth thing?
No.
They made them raise a puppy and then like kill it when they graduated.
Oh my god, that's brutal.
Yeah.
That's got to be one of the worst things the Nazis did.
Yeah. Definitely the dogs. That's
definitely the dogs. Or what?
That's up there.
It's so fucked up.
Anyways. Enough of that dark tangent.
Moving on from our favorite topic, Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany.
Podcast, we can't stay away from the Nazi ideology.
Yeah, it always comes back to Hitler. Anyways, our little blonde boy, Kevin, is preparing his traps. Our wee little boy. So if he figures out the forklift, let's say it takes him like a couple hours to do that. He's got 3 days. That's a long time.
Yeah, man. I think you can figure it out. I mean, not to bash on people who are forklift certified. You know, there's a lot of jokes about how, like, it's really sexy to be forklift certified, but how hard is it really?
I don't know. There's a little button for raise, a little button for lower. There's a steering wheel.
You get a cool little knob on the steering wheel. So
that's true. You could do it one-handed.
You could do a doughy one-handed while Panama by Van Halen.
Panama. Why does it... They do kind of look cool as fuck using these things.
I wish a normal car, like, had those by default.
The little knob on it?
I feel like it would be so useful. Yeah.
You just love gripping a knob. I know that about you.
I love gripping and turning, dude.
It doesn't feel right unless he's just Indian burning a knob.
That's how I got so good at that, man.
Oh, man. Anyways,
he's forklift certified.
He's good at the forklift. We know Kevin.
We know.
Okay. This is so how is he using it? He's loading up a bunch of granite countertops to the top of the top shelf, maybe in between two aisles, right? And then he needs to make some kind of mechanism to deploy them.
I feel like he sends the aisles crashing down domino style.
Yes, that definitely has to happen at some point. Maybe there's a chase scene and that happens. He gets himself up there. Maybe he like runs some chain to the ceiling, or chain running between the supports of the ceiling and
where all the birds live.
Where all the birds live. And he prepares some granite countertops to drop between two aisles, let's say. And then he can maybe release this quickly using like a a knot. Is he good at knot tying? He's got to be good at knot tying, right? You could tie a slip, right?
He uses like the paint cans. So
he does do the paint cans and manually release them.
There is a whole paint section in Home Depot. Just saying.
So he's just gonna be hanging those everywhere. I feel like. I think the first thing that you do with the entrance would be to booby trap with the paint cans.
And I think he uses the paint to counter the invisibility too. First of all.
Oh, genius! That's so smart.
I think the Predator's walking into that one.
I think so. So that could be like the first thing that happens. He walks in, and maybe he gets hit by one, and then he realizes that the traps are coming. So he might rig up the paint can by loading it on top of an aisle, and then he can set up the door so that the door pulls a pin and releases the paint can. Then the paint can, maybe we body shot the Predator. You know, the Predator is probably like tall as fuck, right?
Yeah, he's tall. He's like 7 or 8 feet tall.
Yeah. We body shot the Predator, and he's got a little chartreuse specks all over him.
Chartreuse? I prefer more of a, eggshell myself. I think it really completes. It ties the whole Predator together. Those warm tones.
That subtle chartreuse coloring. Embossed lettering.
What is chartreuse?
I think it's a green. It's also a name for a liquor.
When I hear that word, I think of a purple. And I know I'm thinking of burgundy. Yeah,
we've established that your vocabulary is very poor, Alex.
At least I knew about the Hitler dog. Sorry.
That is true. I gotta give you a point for that. Excellent knowledge of the Third Reich. Not suspicious at all.
Just that I have a certain funny room in my house I prefer you don't look in. And other than that.
No, just joking.
So, Predator, the invisibility, I think, is a non-factor, more or less.
So maybe he gets some specs on him, but I think like it might. Let's say maybe he could get a beat on him, kind of up close, but maybe farther away he can't see him.
How much do you think Kevin can like automate these traps?
So that's going to be a big deal. I think he manually triggers a lot of them in the movies. Definitely the paint cans. But with 3 days, I think he only has like a day to prepare in the movie, right?
Yeah, he's a little workaholic. Like he gets a lot done in a short amount.
He's like the elf from. He's like Will Ferrell's character from Elf, Buddy.
The elf from Elf, yeah.
The elf from Elf, the elf. You know.
Yeah, where he decorates the whole store.
He does have that elf-like work ethic to set these things up really quickly. So 3 days of that, I feel like you could figure some things out. You know, we're in an automated age. And Alex, we got Roombas.
We do have Roombas. I love me a Roomba.
Love me a Roomba.
You think? I feel like they probably got Roombas at Home Depot.
Oh yeah, they got a Roomba.
I picture him making some kind of Roomba lawnmower contraptions that have like a spinning lawnmower blade on the top.
Yeah,
just
you could do that.
Bouncing around like a screensaver across the whole sales floor.
He could also he could also just set a bunch of Roombas with buckets of kerosene lit.
Yeah.
Just slowly wheeling throughout the sales floor.
I mean, they're noisy, but in Prey, he really just like walks straight into a bear trap and like does not what he's doing. So I feel like Kevin could maybe get away with cutting a foot off without even having to do anything physically. So
let's switch it up a little bit. We could have the manually activated granite countertop trap being dropped from above. What if we switch up the paint cans, but we have a push mower that he starts? Yeah. A lawnmower that you don't sit on. That you also get set up between the two aisles. And then you tie chains to the handle and you let it swing down until it's at person level. And then when he can activate it, he just hits the little button or like pulls the ripcord on the gas lawnmower and lets it go, and it would just swing down and it could like shred you if you weren't careful.
That's pretty good.
I feel like
the Predator's quick enough that he might get. I don't think that would be a KO instantly.
No.
I think it would definitely cut a few dreadlocks off.
Yeah, definitely give him a little bit off the top.
Do you think those dreadlocks are like fleshy, or do you think they're like hair?
They gotta be fleshy, right?
Yeah, I see it. They're like vestigial.
Vestigial? They look very fleshy.
Yeah, okay. They're fleshy. He doesn't like that. He's mad now.
Why did they give him dreadlocks?
Because it's cool.
They look like crab legs in the original.
You're kind of making me hungry now. I'll eat crab legs off a Predator's head.
They look like Pocky.
Yeah, he's got the Pocky and the combi sticks.
Okay, so here's another really important question. Is the Predator a weeaboo?
I mean, he is kind of ninja-y. He definitely does some Naruto jumping between trees, so
that's true.
It's safe to assume. He's probably got the, Leaf Village headband somewhere on his person. But like kind of hidden so the other Predators don't make fun of him for it,
Yeah. Anime posting.
The spaceship definitely has like some waifu body wraps.
Oh yeah.
He's got like power from Chainsaw Man on there.
Definitely.
Anyway.
See, this is what maybe the arc from the Prey Predator is that his parents sent him away to like do his spirit hunt.
He's like,
find a spirit animal. Send him on a spirit journey because he's just been sitting in the Predator basement all the time and Predator masturbating the Predator anime.
Man after my own heart.
You just started to emotionally identify with Neat Predator. Hypothetical Neat Predator.
Better than emotionally identifying with Nazi Kevin.
Very true. We don't like that. That's no bueno.
That's no bueno, dude. I wish
so maybe
just told the Nazis that.
Maybe Kevin is the bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to see the Predator as the protagonist.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I'm glad we're thinking about this in this new light.
So, Chainsaw Trap maybe does, or Lawnmower
Chainsaw Trap. I feel like he's scampering. At the tops of the shelves. Perhaps he's set up all the 4x8 sheets of plywood to make some kind of gangway at the top of the.
I feel like if he does that, he's dead because the Predator can jump. He's got some ups. You know what I mean? He's gonna be
true.
Hopping like a sexy little mountain goat, fishnets up those tall shelves and straight up to this little walkway system.
That's true. So maybe he's there. Maybe he's up there. He gets a lawnmower trap off on him. Maybe he narrowly avoids the granite countertop trap because he's paying attention now. And now he sees that Kevin has been around to remotely or to kind of activate these traps. Though they probably could be set up with like a pin of some kind and like a tripwire. but let's just say manually. So maybe he sees that, and then he starts climbing up the end row, right up to Kevin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Kevin, he's prepared though. He's got paint cans.
More paint cans.
More paint cans.
Oh man, I wonder if the paint cans would mess with the targeting software of the arrow gun, because it's like a laser. It's like the little.
That's true.
Dots, you know.
Yeah, it definitely could if it depends on that. Like, I don't really understand what the laser is doing.
So the laser is just painting a target, basically.
Right, but if you know where to aim the laser, you know where to aim the arrow. I never understood the laser thing. I guess it's just a sight for manually aiming.
Yeah, basically, it's like.
Does it automatically aim? Is that how it works?
So it aims based on the mask. So you kind of look with the mask. And
I
that
see.
determines where the laser is, and then when you're ready to like when the laser is on something, you want to.
Oh, okay.
It apparently it canonically uses a gross little part of its jaw to pull the trigger, and like.
Really?
Yeah, it's like the weird little elite jaws.
By the prophet. Anyways, but yeah, maybe he gets lucky. Maybe the predator is climbing shelf by shelf up the side of the Home Depot rack.
He's a quick climber though. He can like jump almost just from point to point. You know what I mean?
Really?
It's not like a a silver fox at a rock climbing gym slowly making his way up that sharp incline. He's like just pop pop pop. He can hop up to trees and stuff real quick, and I imagine the.
Yeah, but that doesn't build suspense at all, Alex.
Okay, fine. Maybe he's injured from the weed whacker Roombas that have been prowling about, because
they're just lit buckets of kerosene. They're not weed whackers.
What?
You think the predator would be weed whacked?
I do. He's got the.
I beg to differ. Okay, he's climbing at some speed. Kevin is quick too. Anyways, he's climbing, but Kevin, he has spicy mustard and linen white by Bear lined up, and he's pushing those down to fall on the predator, right?
Spicy mustard? Someone puts that on the inside of their home.
It's yellow. Yeah. Oh, it's.
I'm so excited to well, spicy, I could maybe picture like more of a burnt, like sepia tone. Spicy mustard.
Maybe the predator just is so disgusted by Kevin's paint color tastes that he gets turned off and just leaves.
The predator holds up one of those little.
You're painting your whole kitchen spicy mustard. Okay, I think it would work really well for you.
Ooh, and then Kevin just dies of shame.
Kevin is very ashamed. Maybe the predator is knocked back to the floor, and maybe this is the point where the predator is sick of him throwing shit at him from the little like planks, the gangways, and he starts pushing over the whole fucking thing. I don't know how the predator could accomplish that, but
I think he wouldn't even need to do that. I think what he does is he takes his little snap bracelet razor blade, and he can really chuck that thing. I don't know if I mentioned this, but this predator really likes to dramatically kill people by throwing stuff. So I feel like he can maybe throw it at the underneath of one of the gangways that Kevin is standing on and make him fall. Maybe.
That's true.
I mean,
it sticks halfway through the little plywood sheet or something like that as he's running.
Straight through it because he uses it to cut a metal bear trap apart.
Really? Okay. See, I think the moment that Kevin gets seen, he's just fucked. Maybe he just needs to hide for all this, and he just needs to make all kinds of remotely triggered traps.
Yeah. Maybe Kevin has a little bit of like future shock if we're saying this is like a Home Depot today. Kevin was a 11-year-old in like what?
An electric lawnmower? What?
Now I've seen everything.
He'd probably say woof at the predator, and maybe that would take the predator's self-esteem down a peg.
Do you know in the Home Alone the kid that like the picture that they used for that joke? The director thought it would be too mean to actually have a picture of a real girl, so they just got a boy and dressed him up like a girl to be an ugly girl because he didn't want to hurt a real girl's feelings.
Aw, it's nice. I'm glad he has that sensitivity in his movie about literally maiming,
About
maiming people.
Just trying to make a
Yeah,
Not all of
how
us
it's
can be hubcap polishers. Like Kevin's dad, supporting a family of 18. Some of us fall on hard times.
yeah. Why the fuck does he have so many fucking kids? They don't. I feel like that's never touched
like
on.
a foster kid situation. Like,
Oh, maybe they say that.
I
They
think
definitely have a cousin there for
yeah,
Christmas.
there's some cousins.
There's the famously Pepsi drinking and bedwetting cousin.
Oh, he was an icon to me as a kid. Remember when I
Why?
did that dumb face in every picture of me from like
What
ages,
face?
I did that dumb face from ages like 11 or 13 in like every picture of me, where I was like tilting my head and smiling like a creepy doll. I did that because I thought it was funny because it looked like the Pepsi kid.
I did not know that. No, that's fucking true. You do that.
I wasn't sure if that silence was you.
Oh my god.
Appalled.
See, I learned something about you on this call. Holy shit.
I don't think I've ever told anyone that.
Oh my god, you fucking do that all the time.
I even look
in the kid photos.
You're going
Wait,
back like I'm
the
Kevin
kid?
Spacey in The Usual Suspects, and you're
Yeah.
photos.
He was spoofing him the whole time. Now this kid, I'm googling this kid. He looks exactly like fucking Kevin McCallister. The casting,
so
unreal.
They did a good
Could
job.
be they casted him very well, especially the child actor with a shit-eating grin. Like, I'm gonna piss on you tonight.
He was, yeah, dude. That's
The way he delivered that, like the subtle eyebrow raise, it's like, oh man.
Little R. Kelly in the making, right there.
A little they probably fucking awakened something in his little 8-year-old ass. That's like
kid,
a child abuse.
He went on to become a lifeguard, so he did have the opportunity to pee on people, get stung by jellyfish.
That's why the pool smells funny.
I think
But
ate extra asparagus beforehand too.
You know what else smells funny is Kevin, because he's covered in mud.
He's covered in mud. So we're proposing, new scenario.
I think he's fucked even at that juncture. We took him through the paint cans, the lawnmower, more paint cans, granite. But if he gets a beat on him, he's just getting a, spiky thingy.
If he can disrupt, okay, but Kevin has a big advantage, which is knowledge. If he can get the mask off, because he knows, mask off. Fucking mask off. He knows the mask is the targeting device, so he could try to do something like the Prey protagonist did, maybe. Yeah. Or at least damage the cannon enough, because that's his main problem, right? Is that cannon? Because, maybe he could make some kind of armor for himself, but probably not, right? You can make armor at Home Depot.
They have sheet metal. Given his improvisational skills, he could maybe make an anvil or something out of. I don't fucking know.
He makes a mech suit, dude.
Mech suit.
He makes like a power loader type thing. Straps a bunch of chainsaws to the end. I could see something like that.
Like, that's true. We need. Oh my god, we definitely need a forklift that has 2 chainsaws hose clamped to the both prongs, and like he just chases the predator around at the climax of this. Oh my god, that's so smart.
The predator becoming the chased.
Yeah. Oh, it just turns into that fucking German like forklift driver thing, Stapler Fahrers Klaus. Where it's just like
the equivalent of, like, the modern day equivalent of like the grotesque cautionary German fairy tales, but for like working class.
Yeah, like for that you get shown during your OSHA certification.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The forklift ferry will come and devour your insides.
You didn't put the plastic chain up. You could squish someone's grandma. Oh my god! But forklift with 2 chainsaws on it. Come on, that's just style points.
It's style points, but I think he would die. If
he would probably die, but it's so cool.
He would catch a combi stick to the combi stick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But okay, maybe he goes full killdozer on this shit. I kind of like your idea.
Oh, like if he actually, because they would have concrete, right? He could.
They have concrete at Home Depot. They have the 80-pound bags, just like at the lumberyard.
Concrete. I never thought about that. Concrete could probably stop the
now,
bullets.
concrete takes a minute to set, though.
Does it take 3 days to set?
Probably not. It cures for a long time. It gets pretty hard, and then it like
a fine ham. It must cure to reach its full potential.
24 to 48 hours after initial set, forms can be removed and people can walk on the surface.
Ooh,
7 days, traffic from vehicles and equipment
so
is okay.
So it's the first thing he does. He could make a little killdozer.
He could make a killdozer, but that's gonna be a huge time investment. He's gonna have to make like a plywood form to like pour the outer shell of the killdozer.
He would basically have time to do nothing else.
Yeah, that's probably true. But the chainsaws.
I see 3 main strats for Kevin.
Killdozer? Killdozer is so good. I just like the killdozer.
Put all your time into a killdozer vehicle.
Yeah.
Strat 2, do what his typical MO is in the movies, which is make a series of traps, most of which need to be activated manually, stay just out of sight, just out of reach of the enemy.
That's not working. He's definitely getting a disco stick to the noggin.
I agree. I think this Predator, the range, will surprise him if he tries that. But I think it's also his preferred MO, so do you think he'd be willing to change it up enough?
So here's the larger question. Is Kevin's extreme schadenfreude and sadism stronger than his need for self-preservation?
I think it might be. There's times in the movies where he goes out of his way. Like, he doesn't have to. He could have called the police, right? He waits so long.
He could have called the cops at any time. Wait. Wasn't there some reason why he couldn't do that?
Was there?
I think there was. Why couldn't Kevin call the cops?
Kevin call the police. You think Google would know what you meant by that with no further context?
He calls for like pizza and shit, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has phone service. Like, the only thing I could think of would be if the bandits cut the phone lines right before they go in.
Oh fuck yeah! There is a reason. I thought I remembered this. When Kevin accidentally steals the toothbrush from the store, he's chased by the police, and a short time later, he says, "I'm a criminal," and this is why he doesn't scared to call the cops. And when he does, he sends them to the neighbors.
That's so funny. Okay.
Also, Joe Pesci impersonating a cop in the first scenes. So.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's almost even. You know what I mean? He's still there, just at the top of the stairs, taunting them, waiting to hear the crack of the paint cans on their bones. So I think it's 50-50 between.
But if he knows the Predator, he knows his enemy, maybe he wouldn't be as playful.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I think. If he sees the movie, he knows it's the Predator's coming from him. I think he wouldn't fuck around so much. I think he's he just has an inherent disrespect for the wet bandits. The tarring and feathering thing is Exhibit A.
Yeah, when he's genuinely afraid of something, he's scared of the shovel guy.
The shovel guy. He just runs the fuck away.
He does not, so he's just not scared of the wet bandits, I guess.
I think he just is toying with them. He's made his saw house for them, but I think he would have a little bit more respect for the Predator. So with that in mind, I think it's Killdozer, or maybe I think the refrigerator idea has some merit too. If we just do a lot of
option 3, a lot of as much automated traps as he can figure out, and just try to hide it.
Yeah. Basically, all those deadfall traps can all be automated with a trip lines. Maybe if we had I don't know how you would make it a hair trigger.
That's what I'm saying. How would you come up with a mechanism to make a lot of these things go off?
Yeah, so you would need to. They have thin metal wire at Home Depot, and they do have pulleys.
Wire.
Now, what element conducts electricity? Wire. But you would just run that wire across a little tripwire, or maybe disguise it somehow, and then that pulling something out of the way.
Yeah, Predator's looking around in thermal vision. He's not going to see that.
That's true. Yeah. So that wire would go up, a rope would go up, and just, pull some trigger that would allow like either the granite countertops to fall down, or, you could even just have a bunch of axes that are, zip tied to a fucking piece of plywood.
Axes. I like
axes. We got gardening implements. I think a lot of stuff like falling traps would be good.
Yeah.
Besides that, there's also propane. It's propane there, but how to set that off, I wouldn't be sure. I think maybe.
Yeah, maybe like a delayed sort of, like one of those fuel trails,
Yeah, something
he would have
like
to
that.
manually activate that still, though.
Right, he could. So this might be his like
blowtorch.
Big
maybe? Another wire with the blowtorch rigged up.
Yeah, you could do that. Well, yeah, he's done that in the first movie. There's the wire with a blowtorch. He just pours a whole. I know they definitely have kerosene at Home Depot, so maybe he has some.
Know that.
He has this. He pulls his fucking like fake party technique to stack two space haters on top of each other and like a bunch of like jugs of water or whatever, or just like something that looks vaguely like the outline of him.
He would make it look like a person in thermal vision.
Exactly. He gets the Bluetooth speaker, and even though he's from 1990, he's so smart, he figures that shit out, and he just puts little boy noises on there. And he says, "I'm just a little boy hiding under all these propane cans. Come kill me." And then when he
better come out and pound me. I mean,
was that an intrusive thought, Alex?
No. Keep going. Go on.
And then you have some kind of either manually activated trap or tripwire, like to do that like fuel line fuse all the way up to the big pile of propane tanks covered in kerosene, and boom, that might be the grand finale. So if he does get that to work, that's one way I could see it working.
I don't know if that would kill the Predator outright. He is.
I mean, if a propane tank like blew up next to you, you'd be pretty fucked.
We don't really get a good grasp in the movie with his fire resistance, I have to say. So.
Well, just the shockwave.
The shockwave. Yeah.
It's like basically a bomb, because you have a bunch of propane in there, and like
you could put like a bunch
just
of
the metal walls,
nails and shrapnel on there.
Sure, he could do that.
Damage.
You can't make a pipe bomb, probably.
Stupid. He might figure that out.
That is
true. Do you think he would have time to have Plan B in this scenario, or do you think rigging that would take like most of the 3 days?
I don't think that would take him 3 days. I think that could take him like 4 hours. That's something that he needs to pour the kerosene like right before, because the kerosene is very volatile, which means it evaporates really quickly. But he could find some other way to blow it up.
Yeah, interesting. So we're thinking the hiding and powerful, hopefully automated traps is going to be the way he gets through this.
Yeah, but the killdozer is so fun.
The killdozer is a really cool idea.
Yeah.
I don't think it would work though.
But it's so cool. Really, he only has like if he could just do the automated traps and just pour himself a little concrete like
like a
house, little panic room.
That's fair. Maybe depending on how well he does it.
Yeah, and it would only be cured for like 48 hours or like 78 hours.
You know what though? I think the Predator could get through the concrete because
he probably could.
So that shield I mentioned, that little like. First of all, that might be something he uses like to protect himself from a lot of these traps last minute, is that little shield.
Yeah.
And, there's a point in the movie where he basically puts his like wrist up against this French dude's head, and then he activates the shield. And not only does the shield like cut the French dude's head off when it expands, right? It also cuts through like an entire thick like oak tree, basically. So I'm thinking he could maybe use that technique to slowly chew through concrete once he did find him. But do you think you could hide for 72 hours? Or sorry, not 72 hours. For 8 hours in a Home Depot? That's a big question.
I don't know. I don't really see him having a good place for 8 hours. Home Depot is really a pretty open place.
I mean, the sight lines aren't very long, except for like at the front.
What? I think they were quite long.
Oh, quite long. There's so much shit in the way. There's like the appliances. There's the light section.
You can see from one side of the store to the other in the main aisles. I don't know. I don't see him hiding for 8 hours. There's only so many fridges to open. The Predator is also smart. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah. He would eventually start throwing open the doors of the fridges. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe staying mobile was his best option after all.
Yeah, maybe staying mobile. The mud tracks are very unfortunate. Maybe he can
have to like leave the soles of his feet unmudded,
yeah,
free, mudless.
Maybe he's smart enough to like hide his infrared signature. I don't know. You could put one of those painting suits on or something. I don't know if that actually would hide it.
Is that a thing?
If you put a space blanket over yourself, you could hide yourself. Hide it.
Really?
I don't know if Kevin would understand that. That's how space blankets keep you warm, is they reflect the IR, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's smart, but he's not like... I don't know if he would know that.
And he would also be very crankly in that case.
And who knows if that would even work with the Predator vision.
Right, that's true.
I still think hiding in a fridge is a good... Like, if you can somehow move the fridge somewhere, like find some sort of cavity in the floor.
Perhaps if we put 8 Roombas underneath the fridge, and the fridge wandered around.
But think about this: if he's in like one fridge out of a bunch of them, and in every other like door the Predator can open, he just has like a shotgun blast of shrapnel to the face. You know what I mean?
They're all booby trapped with bombs.
He does have a bulletproof mask on.
Mm.
So that makes things a little trickier. But, sans mask, you know. It's just sexy fishnets. Those are pretty, vulnerable.
That is true.
IEDs. According to our boys overseas.
Yeah, I don't know how he could make those, like, little like bombs that would go off inside of a refrigerator.
I think he just needs to make a very lethal like cutting trap out of lawnmowers. I think that's the way to go.
They have nail guns at Home Depot.
Nail guns, that's another good one.
Yeah, you just have
it to like unclog, like jailbreak a nail gun so it actually shoots far.
I don't know.
I
feel like Kevin could figure it out.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have like the charges, because the way they work is they literally use like a little gunpowder charge. I thought
it was compressed air.
Let's see. Powder actuated nail gun. Yeah, it actually does use that.
That's nuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they have those little charges. So the nail guns, that's a huge thing. If you can just
bombs right there.
Yeah, what you're saying is you just again, you get your pulley, you get your rope. At a certain point when you open the fridge, the rope gets pulled, it goes through the pulley and it pulls the trigger of the nail gun. But you just get one good nail gun though.
What do you mean just one good nail gun?
You just get one good nail, I think, with that. Unless it's like automatic. I don't think it is. I think you need to like...
Well, I'm saying he could like maybe just take all the little charges and take all the nails and make a bomb.
Yeah. I don't know how many nail charges you would need, but you could fill... you could get some of that metal pipe. Threaded metal pipe on both ends. Make some caps, fill it with nails and powder.
I feel like I'm going to get tailed by the FBI after this episode comes out.
Yeah, that's
describing a little bit in too much detail.
Too much detail. Yeah, you're probably right. Now, setting that off would be hard, though.
Kaczynski died.
What's that?
I said they've been looking out for this ever since Ted Kaczynski died.
Alex, would you turn me in if I was Ted Kaczynski?
Hell no. I would not.
That warms the cockles of my cold, dry heart.
Okay, now I would, because you said cockles of your heart.
Fair enough. His brother turned him in. Did you know that?
I love my brother. Ted Kaczynski's brother loved him too.
That's true. Yeah.
Nah, Chuck is a bastard. And so is Ted.
Chuck is bastard, man.
Anyway. So, okay, so we've earned a nod about a lot of potential.
That's true.
We gotta come to a decision, because as much as we want to believe the little Kevin that could, is he just not good enough to beat the Predator in terms of booby traps?
I'm a booby expert, and I can tell you that Kevin could probably damage the Predator. But this is what I envision. This is the tale that I tell myself. And I think they got like a 50-50 shot almost, or no, it's probably like more like 75-25 in the Predator's favor. Because Predator is so smart, and like I think once the Predator knows that traps are coming, that like it's going to be hard to land them. So what you could do is you can combine the killdozer and hiding strategies. Maybe if you make like you just wait until you know that the Predator is right outside to fire up
a really big explosion go off.
Right. You do your propane tanks, you do your granite, you do your nail gun refrigerators with heat signatures inside of them. You do your, falling lawnmower, you do your paint cans, all that stuff. Maybe that works. I think that's got like definitely less than half chance of killing him.
I feel like he's losing a foot or something.
He's getting injured. Maybe one of his little arrow shooty guy is getting like busted off or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe he's getting a good like deep cut or something. But I'm envisioning the dramatic final showdown. Stapler Farher, Kevin with 2 chainsaws in the killdozer.
Sprinklers going off
with a steel chair
starting to consume the garden section.
Exactly. He finally he's like, maybe he gets a good hit on him because he busts out behind like a bunch of like empty cardboard boxes with the chainsaws running in the killdozer.
Yeah.
And he cuts off the Predator's arm, but the Predator quickly with his other hand like slices off the forks of the forklift, and he has to drive to the garden section in a dramatic conclusion. It's knocking down all of the all of the shelves, all the Roombas with kerosene buckets on top of them are getting tipped over, and he busts through the glass sliding doors to the garden section and makes it out.
What a compelling tale.
Low probability of happening. I think the Predator would probably find him in
QED,
8 hours.
I mean, the square footage of a Home Depot, I suppose, is just maybe not big enough.
It's not big enough for 8 hours. I think 8 hours is unfair. I think like 2 hours is a good number.
What number do you think the night has? How short do you think this night has to be for Kevin to guaranteed hear the Five Nights at Freddy's jingle? You made it.
How short?
Yeah, how short do you think is a guarantee?
I don't know. I don't know really how good he is at hiding. He's good at he's always just out of reach taunting, but hiding, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well,
I think like an hour or something like that. He could definitely have a lot of distractions. Even if the traps never do anything to the Predator, I feel like he could be tied up enough for him to be chilling out in his
loving, tender, muscular arms.
Yeah, just be chilling in the killdozer, like in the garden section, waiting. So
I see ya. Well, we appreciate the lack of sandbagging here. We don't want to just say Kevin wins because it's funny. We'll give him a scenario, but yeah, there you have it, guys.
Yeah, I think we're giving it to Predator then.
As deadly as a Home Depot can be, it's got nothing on the Yamcha.
The Yamcha from Dragon Ball Z.
The proud warrior race.
Uh-oh, we're getting into the racial shit again.
Wait, no, not like that.
We know what you meant, Vegeta.
I was combining Vegeta with like JFK there. That got a little weird.
I thought you were doing Vegeta as an alt-right incel guy.
Kakarot, you haven't taken the red pill yet. That just makes you a beta cuck. Vegeta would definitely be like listening to some. He would be hanging out on some questionable forums. And then Bulma would
you just do whatever Chi-Chi tells you to do, Goku.
But secretly, like, you know.
You need to get your house in order, Goku.
Goku is like an absentee father, though.
That is true. He's kind of a deadbeat.
He's got no place to stand.
He's always flying around with some guy in tights rather than raising his child.
Yeah, he's just beating the shit out of his kid, and then they're like, call it a day.
Yeah. But he likes to eat.
He does like to eat, so I'm back on board.
It's a very wholesome trait. He eats like a fuckhead and he stacks up all the bowls, so he's got to be a good guy.
Stacks up all the bowls really fast.
Yeah, really fast. And he goes, thank you. Do people give him money?
I think he's a broke bitch. I think he's just a moocher.
I like the idea that he saves the world like every 10 seconds, but he's just destitute. All he eats is rice, I feel like.
Nah, he eats all sorts of
He
stuff.
eats lots of stuff? Okay.
Senko stew.
He does?
Beans, you know. I don't know how this became the Dragon Ball Z fancast.
Welcome to the Dragon Ball Z fancast.
Neither of us have even watched Super. And I'm not going to.
I don't know. Can't be as good as the original ones.
Oh, you say that.
They weren't even good. Probably.
Whoa.
The games were good.
We were more about the games than the.
They're fun. They're really fun. That was like the last like fighting type game that I feel like I ever really got into. I feel like I could whip all you guys with Frieza back in the day.
Frieza was OP. Those games were horribly unbalanced.
They were
those
very
games
unbalanced.
Were interesting because they would literally balance the characters based on like how strong they were in lore, which was funny.
Yeah, so they had like a Hercule, and he could only throw like a rock.
He was like garbage.
You could just get the crap beaten out of you, or you could play as like Super Saiyan 4 Goku and turn into like little King Kong.
Yeah, you could just be like Omega Shenron and just like annihilate someone.
Really? Was that? I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was a thing. And then you're up against like one of the little cabbage people. You just turn them into ashes.
Oh, one of the little ball sack fellers.
Yeah, their level 3 was to literally blow themselves up and it damaged you. Like you couldn't do your big cool attack without hurting yourself. Much like Kevin, let's bring it back one more time, guys. From the Third Reich to Toriyama has truly wandered as a conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were focused for this one, obviously, but Kevin's probably not making it out alive, folks.
He's not making it. His sadism, his pure vile hatred that comprises his dark heart, overwins him, and he tries to do the L Fortnite dance on Predator, but gets a glow stick to the neck.
A glow stick to the neck. Well, there you have it. What did we learn from this? That Home Depot is a very deadly place.
Home Depot is a dangerous place.
Maybe that's why they keep people who don't know what they're doing in there. Because if they did, they have one bad day. Oof. It's a death trap.
I'm not sure if I follow your logic there, partner.
I'm saying they should screen those employees very carefully because a bad day could be a really bad day for everyone. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Forklift certification is not a privilege to be taken lightly.
With great forklift certification comes great responsibility.
Did you know that Gravemind in Halo is technically forklift certified because he consumed the minds of the dock workers from Halo 3?
I thought you were gonna say there's a scene where he drives the forklift, and I didn't remember that.
That would be sick.
Those games, but goddamn,
that would make that game like 4 times better, probably.
Just he really whips that thing across the corner, just like
he's going skirt. He's got the big tentacle on the knob, and he's just cranking it.
Keep talking.
Oh my. This is turning into a Predator anime very quickly.
He tenderly brushed his fleshy dreadlock over his ear.
My. Yeah, what if we try the reconciliation approach? Predator is very he's very like he has that high sense of honor.
Yeah.
Maybe like Kevin could challenge him to like a game of chess or like Pong.
Maybe Kevin is smart enough to realize that like if he just doesn't fight back, then Predator won't hunt him. Well, he probably would still kill him though. He'd probably just kill him very fast.
Yeah.
This one just goes like, all right, fuck this. See ya.
Does he spare anyone who isn't putting up a fight in Prey?
I don't think he does.
Yeah.
I know the original Predator does that, but I think this one is more of like a edgy teen Predator, you know?
Yeah.
At one point he gets like frustrated with fighting the like French dudes, and he's just like, fuck this, and just basically cuts the entire forest down.
There you go.
So maybe that's what he does.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Could rage quit.
Sorry, Kevin. Sorry, Macaulay. You're not caulking your way out of this one.
Teenage Predator listened to too much new metal to have any mercy for him.
Just one of those days. Macaulay Culkin is like one of my favorite actors because as a kid he made enough money to never have to work again, so he just didn't.
I think that's always a really good look on actors. Daniel Radcliffe is kind of in that same situation, and I really like what he's been doing with it.
He just does weird, goofy stuff, yeah. Like, he just does whatever he wants. I think Macaulay Culkin has a band. Or had
Does
a band.
he? I love how he literally looks exactly the same, but his facial features look 100% the same as when he was a little kid.
Yeah. It's very haunting. Have you ever ran into someone who you knew as a kid, and then you met them, like, later in life as an adult, and it was like that?
No, not really, to be honest.
I've done that before, and it's really weird.
That is weird. It's
like
if
you look the same, but stretched out a little
damn, if his ass went missing, they would have him dead to rights on the fucking milk carton with the age projection.
They would. I would almost be, like, annoyed if I was... if
right.
That worked really well on me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I could have changed it up. You don't know. It's just, like, dead on. Like, the algorithm got your ass. Well, much like the sun sets on Home Depot every night, when the last employee gets done with a long day of not knowing anything, decides to clock out.
Of being far, far inferior to Alex.
It's right. For all of your home needs.
Ask him DIY questions.
Parentheses, I will not own a house in my lifetime.
How do I hang a picture? How do I hang my TV without cable showing? Where is the lobby?
Just watch memes on your phone.
Right over there.
But yeah, as I was saying, the sun sets on another day in Platypus World, leaving Kevin's mutilated corpse in the dark.
Bye-bye. He's not going to be in Home Alone 3, baby.
He's not going to be... He actually wasn't in Home Alone 3.
He wasn't in Home Alone 3, probably because he got killed by the Predator, canonically.
Wow. Well...
You didn't read the Home Alone books.
Wait.
You didn't read the manga.
So wait. If Home Alone is connected to Predator, right? That means it's also connected to aliens. Which means it's also connected to Prometheus. What I'm trying to say here is that...
Donald Trump canonically exists in the Aliens universe?
Yes. Yes. Maybe he was created by the Prometheans.
That's true.
A sort of divine trickster.
Frankly, they're saying their blood is very spicy.
And keep us.
It's dissolving a lot of things.
I gotta say, dude, I don't say this to a lot of people, but you've really worked on your Trump impression, and it's gotten a lot better.
Thank you very much. It's been a lot of me walking back and forth my house alone, speaking like Donald Trump.
Oh, your poor wife.
Who, right. Melania?
No, the other 6.
You're gonna have to specify.
I I mean, Mary.
Who is he dating? He's the
like?
it girl. Who do you like?
Who do you like? Be honest. OMG, dare.
He's so catty that he could be like that. Do you know that he's just talking about like how appliances don't work as well as they used to?
That was like the main subject of one of his rallies.
Yes. He's talking about like how like dishwashers don't work as well as they used to.
He's spitting though.
Yeah.
Not to be pro Donald, but he's right. You got that one. Well, like we say at the end of every episode of Platypus World. Do 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 bum 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 bum.
Hey there, idiot. Do you not have the Home Depot Visa credit card? 36 months, 0% APR, 46 months, and 5% cash back on all of your egg purchases.
Sounds like a deal, mate.
Bye.